In this video, I will show you how to groom a poodle face. These are the clippers that I use. They're great for feet, faces, sanitary areas, rear ends. They're gentle. They are variable length, so that is the shortest it goes. Let's see if I can get it into the white. And that is the longest that it goes. Oops. So that is going to be a 10 blade, and that's what I'm going to use on his face, which is the longest. In between, like on the pads on the bottoms of their feet, I will use a shorter blade just so that I can get it tighter and there's less hair in there. But the safest length to use on a face is this 10 blade. And I like this because it doesn't heat up. So I can do an entire face without it getting warm and having to switch a blade out. And the warmer it gets, the more likely it is to abrade their skin. So I'm going to show you the lines real quick on my face, just so you know what I'm doing when I get into his face. And I always start with, it's easiest to start with the straight lines, just because, you know, those are the easiest to draw. And I always start here in between their eyes, and you're basically gonna, it's connecting the dots basically here. So you're gonna draw a straight line in the center of their eyes this way. So you're connecting those two eyes together, and then when you turn their head, you're gonna go from the corner of the eye out to the corner of his ear. So you're gonna draw that straight line there, and I always shave all of this hair right in front of their ear. It just creates better airflow, and you know, they're a little bit less prone to get ear issues. And then you start at the bottom of the ear, and you're gonna draw your line down, and depending on, like, the larger the poodle, the deeper this V down here is gonna be. The judge I usually use is the length of his nose here, and you're gonna start that length, you know, where his neck or where his head meets his body, and you're gonna draw that down, you know, down his chest. So if he's got a nose about that long, you're gonna go about that far down. The purpose of that is poodles have nice long necks, and that line is going to help elongate their neck. So if you go down lower, it's not going to be that big a deal. I've set your lines for the most part right where they should be. So if you just wanted to follow the lines that I set in that area, you're pretty much good to go there. So, like I said, I always start in between the eyes, and I've already done in between his eyes, and I'm growing out his hair, so I pulled the hair in between his eyes up. So yeah, I shave right there in between, and then I'm going to go from the corner of his eye to the corner in front of his ear, and then I'm going to shave in front of his ear. And I don't ever pluck ears. I always just pull the hair out and shave the hair. So I just have a comb, and I pull as much of that ear hair straight up as I possibly can, and then I just shave it right off. Yeah, so I clean all in front of that ear out really well. And it's the easiest hair to trim is going to be clean hair. So best case scenario, if you give them a bath and blow dry them and then trim the hair, but it'll work just the same on hair that well, it'll be a little bit harder to do on dirty hair, but the result will definitely be pretty close to the same. So now I'm going to just take all of this hair on this cheek. And this is me drawing that line down his chest. And there are parts where I go against the grain and parts where I go with the grain. So on their neck where, you know, the hair is, or the skin's a little more sensitive, I always go with the grain. Can you turn this way? Good boy. So on top of his nose, where the skin's a little hardier, I'm going to go against the grain, so I'm going to go down towards his nose. And down towards his lips. And then around underneath his eye, I go against the grain too. And you want to be really, really, really delicate. So I take this, like just the corner, almost like you're trying to shave your eyelashes off. And that's basically what you're doing, is just kind of trying to shave that his bottom eyelashes off. So you just want to be very, very gentle. And he'll be able to, he or she, they'll be able to sense your unease. And they'll kind of, you know, they take their cues from you. So, you know, fake it till you make it. If you can be as confident about that as you can, then he'll be a little more still for you. And then his lip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this skin right here behind his lip, and I'm going to pull, you just see how you just pull that tight, and you go against the grain around his lips. And just very, very carefully, very gingerly go out toward his nose. And you want to lift up just in that little area right there, right behind his eye tooth. He's going to hide some hair there on both sides. And then once I get to the end of his nose, I kind of go back the other direction just to... Okay, buddy. Just to get all the hair off that I can, so he doesn't look like he's got a little mustache. And then you just do that on both sides, and there you go. And this hair grows really, really fast, like I do his face, every couple of weeks. So while this goes on, you'll get plenty of practice. So if you haven't already picked up a pair of these clippers or any other grooming equipment, just let me know, and I can text you the information for the wholesale grooming distributor that I use and I get my equipment through. Normally he doesn't work with the general public, but right now during the crisis I contacted him and he said he'd be happy to fill online orders for you so you can get all of this equipment a little bit easier than getting it on Amazon. And when you get it off Amazon, I've noticed that grooming equipment in general, the price is jacked up a little bit. So I hope you found this useful, and please feel free to reach out to me with any other questions. Have a great day.